Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day. Don't forget, grab your smartphone and download the Lava Matra app and stay in touch. Guru Maharaj's message is your advantage. The following is a Sri Krishna Chaitanya book compilation given by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj on February 20th, 2021 in Sri Mayapur, India.
Pangalanghayate girim jatkipatamhang bande Shri Guru Dinotarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Isharam.
Hare Om Tat Sat. Compilation of the Sri Krishna Chaitanya book.
Compilation of Sri Krishna Chaitanya book.
Chapter
entitled Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu receives the manuscript of Brahma Samhita and visits Sringeri Mutt. Under the section Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's travels to holy places in South India.
আদিকেশব মন্দিরে বিষ্ণু দর্শনে প্রভুর নিত্য গীত ও তদ্দর্শনে সকলের চমৎকার। সেই দিন চলি আইলা পয়সিনী তীরে স্নান করি গেলা আদি কেশব মন্দিরে।
Translation: That very night Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his assistant Krishna Das arrived at the bank of Payaswini river. They took their bath and then went to see the temple of Adi Keshav.
কেশব দেখিয়া প্রেমে আবিষ্ট হইলা নতি স্তুতি নিত্য গীত বহুত করিলা।
Translation: When the Lord saw Adi Keshav temple, he was immediately overwhelmed with ecstasy. Offering various obeisances and prayers, he chanted and danced.
I had a great good fortune of visiting the Adi Keshav deity.
I had the great fortune to visit the Adi Keshav deity.
This temple is surrounded by a large wall.
This temple is surrounded by a large wall.
And the deity is like the Padmanabha deity
The deity is like the Padmanabha deity
in Trivandrum.
in Trivandrum.
But he's faced in the opposite way.
But he's faced in the opposite way.
So I hadn't changed the cloth of the deity. I brought a new cloth. He gave me the old cloth as a shaman, which I distributed to various devotees.
So they had not changed the cloth of the deity, so I brought new cloth for the deity and they gave old cloth to me as prasadam, which I distributed to many devotees.
প্রেম দেখি লোকে হইল মহা চমৎকার সর্বলোক কইল প্রভুর পরম সৎকার।
Translation: All the people there were greatly astonished to see the ecstatic pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They all received the Lord very well.
শুদ্ধ ভক্ত সঙ্গে ব্রহ্ম সংহিতার পঞ্চম অধ্যায় প্রাপ্তি। মহাভক্তগণ সহ তাহা গোষ্ঠী কইল ব্রহ্ম সংহিতাধ্যায় পুঁথি তাহা পাইল।
Translation: In the temple of Adi Keshava, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu discussed spiritual matters among highly advanced devotees. While there, he found a chapter of the Brahma Samhita.
গ্রন্থ দর্শনে প্রভুর আনন্দ। পুঁথি পাইয়া প্রভুর হইল আনন্দ অপার কম্প অশ্রু পুলাক্ষেত স্তম্ভ বিকার।
Translation: Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was greatly happy to find a chapter of that scripture, and symptoms of ecstatic transformation, trembling, tears, perspiration, trance, and jubilation were manifest in his body.
Since Lord Chaitanya had visited this temple
Since Lord Chaitanya had visited this temple
on the 5th chapter of Brahma
and
Samhita
found the
here,
5th chapter of Brahma Samhita,
it's appropriate that we put a lotus footprint of Lord Chaitanya here.
it's appropriate that we put lotus footprint of Lord Chaitanya here.
We put one in the Padmanabha temple in Trivandrum.
We had put one in the Padmanabha temple in Trivandrum.
So we should put one here also.
We should put one here also.
ব্রহ্ম সংহিতার মাহাত্ম্য সিদ্ধান্ত শাস্ত্র নাহি ব্রহ্ম সংহিতার সম গোবিন্দ মহিমা তত্ত্ব পরম কারণ অল্পক্ষরে কহে সিদ্ধান্ত অপার সকল বৈষ্ণব শাস্ত্র মধ্যে অতি সার।
Translation: There is no scripture equal to the Brahma Samhita as far as the final spiritual conclusion is concerned. Indeed, that scripture is the supreme revelation of the glories of Lord Govinda, for it reveals the topmost knowledge about him. Since all conclusions are briefly presented in the Brahma Samhita, it is essential among all the Vaishnava literatures. Purport: The Brahma Samhita is a very important scripture. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu acquired the 5th chapter from the Adi Keshav temple. In that 5th chapter, the philosophical conclusion of Achintya Bhedabhed Tattva, simultaneous oneness and difference is presented. The chapter also presents methods of devotional service, the 18-syllable Vedic hymn, discourses on the soul, the super soul, and the fruitive activity, and explanation of Kama Gayatri, Kama Bija, and the original Mahavishnu, and a detailed description of the spiritual world, specifically Goloka Vrindavan. The Brahma Samhita also explains the demigod Ganesh, Garbhodakshai Vishnu, the origin of the Gayatri Mantra, the form of Govinda, and his transcendental position and abode. The living entities, the highest goal, the goddess Durga, the meaning of austerity, the 5 gross elements, love of Godhead, impersonal Brahman, the initiation of Lord Brahma, and the vision of transcendental love enabling one to see the Lord. The steps of devotional service are also explained: the mind, Yoga Nidra, the goddess of fortune, devotional service in spontaneous ecstasy, incarnations beginning with Lord Ramachandra deities, the conditioned soul and its duties, the truth about Lord Vishnu, prayers, Vedic hymns, Lord Shiva, the Vedic literature, personalism and impersonalism, good behavior, and many other subjects are also discussed. There is also a description of the Son and the universal form of the Lord. All these subjects are conclusively explained in a nutshell in the Brahma Samhita.
So,
from this explanation,
we understand that the Brahma Samhita is very important literature.
We can understand that Brahma Samhita is a very important literature
for all Vaishnavas.
For all Vaishnavas.
শ্রী অনন্ত পদ্মনাভ দর্শন বহু যত্নে সেই পুঁথি লইলা লিখায়া অনন্ত পদ্মনাভ আইলা হরষিত হইয়া।
Translation: Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu copied the Brahma Samhita, and then with great pleasure he went to a place known as Ananta Padmanabha. Purport: Concerning Ananta Padmanabha, one should refer to Madhya Leela, Chapter 1, Text 9.115.
Trivandrum is also known as Thiruvananthapuram.
Thiruvananthapuram.
2 দিন অবস্থান, পরে শ্রী জনার্দন দর্শন। দিন 2 পদ্মনাভের কইল দর্শন, আনন্দে দেখিতা আইলা শ্রী জনার্দন।
Translation: Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu remained for 2 or 3 days at Ananta Padmanabha and visited the temple there. Then, in great ecstasy, he went to see the temple of Sri Janardhan.
So, we're also getting some land in near the Janardhan temple.
We are also getting some land near the Janardhan temple. Purport: The temple of Sri Janardhan is situated 26 miles north of Trivandrum near the Varakal railway station.
পয়সনী তীরে শঙ্কর নারায়ণ দর্শন। দিন 2 তাহা করি কীর্তন নর্তন, পয়সিনী আসিয়া দেখে শঙ্কর নারায়ণ।
Translation: Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanted and danced at Sri Janardhan for 2 days. He then went to the bank of the Payaswini river and visited the temple of Shankar Narayana.
সিঙ্গেরি মঠে আগমন ও পরে মৎস্য তীর্থ দর্শন। সিঙ্গেরি মঠে আইলা শঙ্করাচার্য স্থানে, মৎস্য তীর্থ দেখি কইল তুঙ্গভদ্রা স্নানে।
Translation: Then he saw the monastery known as Sringeri Mutt, the abode of Acharya Sankara. He then visited Matsya Tirth, a place of pilgrimage, and took a bath in the river Tungabhadra. Purport: The monastery known as Sringeri Mutt is situated in the state of Karnataka in the district of Chikmagalur. This monastery is located at the confluence of rivers Tunga and Bhadra, 7 miles south of Hariharpur. The real name of this place is Sringagiri or Sringaverapuri, and it is the headquarters of Sankaracharya. Sankaracharya had 4 principal disciples and he established 4 centers under their management. In North India at Badrika Ashram, the monastery named as Jyotir Mutt was established. At Purushottam, the Bhogavardhan or Govardhan monastery was established. In Dwarka, the Sarada monastery was established, and the 4th monastery established in South India is known as Sringeri Mutt. In the Sringeri Mutt, the sannyasis assume the designations Saraswati, Bharati, and Puri. They are all Ekdandi sannyasis, distinguished from the Vaishnava sannyasis, who are known as Tridandi sannyasis. The Sringeri Mutt is situated in South India in a portion of the country comprising Andhra, Dravida, Karnat, and Kerala. The community is called Bhurivar and the dynasty is called Bhur-Bhua. The place is called Rameshwar and the slogan is Aham Brahmasmi. The deity is Lord Vara and the energetic power is Kamakshi. The Acharya is Hastamalak and the brahmachari assistants of the sannyasi are known as Chaitanya. The place of pilgrimage is called Tungabhadra and the subject for Vedic study is Yajurveda. The list of the disciplic succession from Shankaracharya is available and the names of Acharya and the dates of their accepting sannyas according to the Saka era or Shakabda are as follows. For approximate Christian era dates, add 78 years, Shankaracharya 622 Sak, Sureshwaracharya 630, Bodhanacharya 680, Jnanandanacharya 768, Jnanottama Sivacharya 827, Jnanagri Acharya, etc. Regarding Shankaracharya, it is understood that he was born in the year 608 of the Shakabda era in the month of Vaisak on the 3rd day of the waxing moon in a place in South India known as Kaladi. His father's name was Shiva Guru and he lost his father at an early age. When Shankaracharya was only 8 years old, he completed his study of all scriptures and took sannyas from Govinda, who was residing on the banks of the Narmada. After accepting sannyas, Shankaracharya stayed with his spiritual master for some days. He then took his permission to go to Varanasi, and from there he went to Badrik Ashram, where he stayed until his 12th year. While there, he wrote a commentary on the Brahma Sutra as well as on 10 Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita. He also wrote Sanat Sujatiya and a commentary on Narsimha Tapani. Among his many disciples, his 4 chief disciples are Padmapad, Sureshwar, Hastamalak, and Trottaka. After departing from Varanasi, Shankaracharya went to Prayag, where he met a great learned scholar called Kumarila Bhatt. Shankaracharya wanted to discuss authorities of the scriptures, but Kumarila Bhatt, being on his deathbed, sent him to his disciple Mandana in the city of Mahishmati. It was there that Shankaracharya defeated Mandana Mishra in a discussion of the Shastras. Mandana had a wife named Saraswati or Ubhaya Bharati, who served as mediator between Shankaracharya and her husband. It is said that she wanted to discuss erotic principles and amorous love with Shankaracharya, but Shankaracharya had been a brahmachari since birth, therefore had no experience in amorous love. He took a month's leave from Ubhay Bharati and by his mystic power entered the body of a king who had just died. In this way, Shankaracharya experienced the erotic principles. After attaining this experience, he wanted to discuss erotic principles with Ubhay Bharati, but without hearing his discussion, she blessed him and assured the continuous existence of Sringeri Mutt. She then took leave of material life. Afterwards, Madan Mishra took the order of sannyas from Shankaracharya and became known as Sureshwar. Shankaracharya defeated many scholars throughout India and converted them to his Mayavad philosophy. He left his material body at the age of 33. As far as Matsya Tirth is concerned, it was supposedly situated beside the ocean in the district of Malabar.
I understood that Lord Vishnu told Lord Shiva to appear as Shankaracharya.
So it is understood that Lord Vishnu told Lord Shiva to appear as Shankaracharya.
Bring the people back from Buddhism to Vedic.
And to bring back people from Buddhism to Veda.
So he was sending a Mayavada philosophy,
So he presented a Mayavada philosophy,
which is believing in the soul, but that the absolute truth is impersonal.
which is believing in the soul, but absolute truth is impersonal.
So this was easy for the Buddhists to accept.
So this was easy for the Buddhists to accept.
Since their philosophy was voidism.
Since their philosophy was voidism.
So this was impersonalism.
So this was impersonalism.
So that way he brought the Buddhists back to the Vedas.
So that's how he brought Buddhists back to the Vedas.
The Vaishnava Acharyas were defeating the Mayavad presentation.
But Vaishnava Acharyas, they were defeating the Mayavad presentation.
Ramanujacharya,
Ramanujacharya,
Madhvacharya,
Madhvacharya,
Nimbarka,
Nimbarkacharya,
and Vishnu Swami Acharya.
and Vishnu Swami Acharya. Thus ends the chapter entitled Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu receives the manuscript of Brahma Samhita and visits Sringeri Mutt under the section Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's travels to the holy places in South India.
Haribo.
Haribo!
Do you like our ad-free videos? Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.